Hello everyone, if you're watching this the day that it came out, it is the 12th day of Vlogmas, which is crazy. Like, I cannot believe I've made it this far. We have 13 days to go. I can do it. I'm excited. I'm feeling good. So for today's video, we are going to be going over all of the concerts that I've been to this year. I actually have a recap on my Instagram story. It's Diz with Sid is my account, and there's a highlight that is 2 stories from every concert I've been to this year. So if you want like a more in-depth look, go check that out. And there's also highlights for some of the specific like moments that I'll be talking about. But I was looking through YouTube and I saw people doing like all the concerts I've been to videos, and that would be too much for one video because this year I've been to 22 concerts. So I was like, don't want to include 2017 because I went to 18 shows last year, 22 this year, and I'm hoping to do more next year. So if this is the first time you're seeing my face, or if you've seen me before and you haven't, please subscribe because we're making videos every day. I keep everything detailed, written down all cutely. This used to be in my bullet journal, but I don't really bullet journal anymore, but I kept this up because it helps me remember all the shows I've been to. The first show I went to this year was on February 28th, and it was Neck Deep, Seaway, and Speak Low If You Speak Love. It was in San Francisco. It was me and my mom and my brother. We were in the ADA like disability section because my brother has a foot condition. His bones are fused together. He can't stand during shows, so whenever we're at shows together, we party in ADA. And our view is actually pretty good. It was like we were in the crowd, except for there were seats because it was just like a general admission show. So it was really good. We got there late, unfortunately, because of a bunch of crazy things that happened that day. So I missed Speak Low, which I'm still kind of sad about. I hope I'll get to see them in 2019. But we get to see Seaway and we got to see Neck Deep, and they were both super good. On March 12th, I went to Lorde, and the opening acts were Run the Jewels and Tove Stierke. This was at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. I went with Trent, and Lorde was so good. Like, oh my gosh, I love that show. And probably like the highlight of that show for me was during Greenlight, and then when the confetti fell. Those were both like really magical moments. On the floor for that show, we were at the back of the floor. Then I didn't go to a show for 3 months, which is crazy. I don't know how that happened. My next shows were Warped Tour. I went to Warped Pomona, Warped San Diego, and Warped Ventura. And Pomona was me as a fan. Like, I didn't do anything work-wise that day. I worked San Diego and Ventura this year, which was probably the highlight of my year. It just like confirmed that I want to work in the music industry. It was so much fun. So the highlight of Pomona, there was a lot of different highlights. I saw As It Is from the second row. That was amazing. I love As It Is a lot. I watched them every single day that I went to Warped Tour. At the end of our day, we got to see Water Parks, but their instruments weren't working, so we got to see an acoustic set from Austin, which was really cool. And it was the day that it was being live streamed, so if you go and watch the Warped Tour live stream, you can actually see me and Miranda in the Water Parks crowd, which is cool. And we also made it into the Water Parks music video for Peach. For San Diego, it was the day right after Pomona. I worked with Equal Vision Records. This was so cool. I got to hand out samplers with Equal Vision songs on them. I got to work at the merch tent. The funniest thing about that day is that I sunburnt my eye really bad, and I had to walk around like this all day. Saw the main, saw State Champs, had a good time. Ventura was probably the best day of Warped Tour because I got to work with Becca and Caitlin and Miranda at the Ali FM booth. I got to host help host a meet and greet for real friends, and we got to get people signed up for the app, held them at the photo booth, and our tent was across from the 2 main stages, so we just watched the main stage all day long. We took a break to go see As It Is again, which was really cool, and Cameron was there that day. And yeah, I just had so much fun working, and that was the end of our little Warped Tour adventure. Next up was July 9th was the start of my Harry Styles run. I did a whole video about my Harry Styles experience. It's 30 minutes of just unedited gibberish that I just uploaded for fun. If you want to watch it, I'll link it up there. Sacramento, San Jose, and LA. Sacramento, we were 5th row in the pit. Tess was here from Texas. We had a party in the pit. It was one day I saw Casey Musgraves for the first time. I saw Harry Styles for the second time. Yes, for the second time. We were so close. And then in San Jose, we were side stage, which was also like a fun, different experience. We just danced up at the top the entire time. And then for the Forum in LA, for like the last night of tour, Tess and I were separated. I was up in ADA with my mom. Tess was rear view, but that was also really fun. Like, I just can't believe you guys go to 3 hairstyle shows together. Like, what the heck? That's wild. The last night of tour was so crazy. They played Kiwi 3 times. They played Girl Crush. It was intense. I was supposed to be going to Chicago Warped Tour, Ohio, and New York on like a family trip. It got canceled because my dad injured his foot really bad and ended up being off of work for 4 months. It sucked. But I ended up going to Pentatonics the day that I was supposed to fly out, but instead it was in San Jose because Trent was going. And that was a very weird concert. Like, we were up at the very back of the lawn, and the audio was like really messed up at the venue, so it was kind of hard to hear, and it was just like a weird vibe. Everybody was talking during the show and like not dancing or anything, but me and Trent made the most of it. And then after that, Trent and I went and drove to Mountain View to see Halsey. We were pretty close for Halsey. We drove to Mountain View by ourselves, which was a 2.5-hour drive, and we were miserable by the end. We were driving home at like, you know, 2 in the morning. Then after that, this was August 4th, I went and saw Niall Horan and Maren Morris. That was a really fun show. I went with Shelby. I bought tickets to see Niall at Halsey, and because they had cheap $20 lawn tickets, I went to go see Panic at the Disco. I was supposed to see them for the first time this year at Madison Square Garden. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Big sad, but it'll happen eventually. But we saw them in San Jose. Haley Kiyoko and Arizona opened. I didn't see either Haley Kiyoko or Arizona that night because I was in line for the Amazing Bebo puppet thing that they did. That was a fortune teller. I vlogged this concert, so if you want to see it, I'll link it too. And we loved that so much that we decided to road trip to Vegas to go to the last night of tour, which I also vlogged. It was a 18-hour trip there and back. I ended up driving 4.5 hours of that trip. That show was incredible. We got to the box office. We did not have tickets. We drove 9 hours to Vegas with no tickets, and when we got to the box office, we got row 9 or 13 or like something really close for $70. And then I had a month off, and then I went to see Greta Van Fleet in Oakland. I did a video about this too. And this was such an insane night. I ended up getting to Oakland at like 5 p.m. so I wasn't expecting Barricade because doors opened I think at like 7, but I ended up snagging the last spot of Barricade on Sammy's side. I literally explained this all in the video, so I'm not going to go that deep into it, but it was my first time seeing Greta Van Fleet. It was the best ever. And then I went to go see Greta Van Fleet again in Texas, but in between that I went and saw Fall Out Boy. This was with Machine Gun Kelly, and that was my second time seeing them. It was just such a good show, and my mom got to see Fall Out Boy last time she wasn't with us, and she loved it. And I did Spanish homework in the car on the way home because I forgot about it. Then I very impulsively booked a trip to Texas to go to Austin City Limits Music Festival, which was probably one of the best choices that I've ever made. It was such a fun weekend. It was 3 days. The first day we waited at Barricade all day for Greta Van Fleet, and then we went and saw Paul McCartney from the Beatles in person. That was, oh my god, that was a moment. Greta Van Fleet was good too, obviously. If you watch the ACL live stream, all my friends are in the front row and it's so fun. I didn't vlog ACL. I kind of wish I did more, but I also have this really cool montage video on my Instagram if you want to go watch it. I'm on Instagram all the time. Please come to my Instagram. It's a fun time and you won't regret it. And the next day, we saw the Wombats, which I love now so much. I didn't know much about them going into it, but now I'm obsessed with them. And then we also saw Metallica, which is like still mind-blowing. I'm like, I saw Paul McCartney and Metallica. Day 3, we saw Youngblood, who I'm obsessed with now. I talked about him in my drive with me. We saw Camila Cabello, and we saw the Arctic Monkeys. We saw more than that, but those are like the highlights for me. After that, I went to Laney at the Palladium with Casey. That was a really fun show. We ended up being way closer than I expected for that show too, because it really just be like that sometimes. Go to the side. Go to the side when you go inside a general admission show. Pick left or right, it doesn't matter. You'll be closer than you think. And it was our first show playing songs from Malibu Nights. It was amazing. I've never seen them anywhere else, but seeing Lainey in LA is like so special. I love it so much. I've only seen them in LA. I've seen them twice in LA, and it's just so good. And I bought tickets to see them a third time in LA and a fourth time in Anaheim because I love Lainey. And I spend all my money on concert tickets, so what are you gonna do about it? Okay, after Lainey, this is November now, I went and saw 21 Pilots with AWOL Nation and Max Frost. My mom ended up getting to go. That was a fun time. My mom cried during Hey Jude. And oh my gosh, I forgot, during 21 Pilots, Tyler goes up on this like post during car radio, and it was right at our section. Like, I was so close. I could have touched him. I didn't, but like I was real close, and I was like, what? I thought this was going to be my last concert of the year, and that was the concert I went to 2 weeks ago, which was Water Parks, IDK Howe, Super Whatever, Dwayne Jackson, and Nick Gray. That was an amazing show. I flew to Burbank to go with Casey and Miranda. Again, such a good decision. Like, don't regret it whatsoever. So good. God's favorite girl band was formed. We had the best night. We were on Jeff's side. Miranda crowd surfed. We mosh pitted. It was great. Tomorrow, actually, me and Cameron are going to see Small Talks, Sleep on It, Broadside, and With Confidence. I didn't think we were gonna get to go because it's my last day of class, but I got all my work in and I have A's in both my classes and I don't need to show up anymore, so I get to go. And then we'll go in 2019. I have lots of stuff planned for 2019. It'll all be vlogged on this channel, so you should subscribe because this is the end of the video. I don't know how we got here. I've been talking about shows for 21 minutes, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Vlogmas. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Yeah, I'm on the drum, yeah, I'm on the snare drum. Yeah, I'm on the beat cause the beat goes dumb. And I only spit heat cause I'm playing for the sun. Playing for the king, playing for the title. I'm surprised you didn't hear this in the Bible.